Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about coding challenges, how to solve coding challenges, and I'm going to start with easy problems. We are going to be using Ruby to be solving these challenges. So the purpose of this is to make us familiar with the skills, with the syntax of Ruby language, as I am presently posting new videos about Ruby on my channel. So as you can see, in this I have introduction to Ruby. You can watch this if you haven't started watching all this. And please guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like my videos. This will support my channel and it will make me also get motivated. Thank you so much. So today's video we are going to be specifically working on this on this coding challenge. So removing of trailing zeros from numbers. So this is a simple challenge of course, but it is a good way of learning a programming language like Ruby. So because it's going to let you know how well to use the syntax. So starting from easy challenges to medium and to harder ones is very important. So it is not okay as a beginner to start with difficult challenges. So instead you start with easy challenges. So this challenge, trailing zeros, removing of trailing zeros from numbers. So I can see we have numbers ending with zeros are boring. And this challenge I got it from Code Wars. So I'm going to drop the link to Code Wars if you feel like also solving challenges from there. So they might be fun in your world but not here. So the problem is get rid of them, only the ending one. So we only need to get rid of the zeros, the zeros from the number, the last zeros from the numbers. So if we remove one zeros from a number and the last digit is also, after removing the last digit which is 0, so the new number which is also having its last digit as 0, we need to remove it. So for example, we have 1450. So 1450 here has 0 as its last digit. So we need to remove the last 0 here, which is 0, with the last digit which is 0, and the number we are going to return is 145, because we are returning 145 because there is no more 0 after this, after removing this 0. So there is no more 0. So unlike this 960,000, as you can see, we have 0 here. After removing this one 0, we still have another 0. After removing this 0, we still have another 0 until we remove the last zeros from the last digit from this number. So the same thing applies here. 1050, as you can see, we have two zeros here, but what we are concerned about is removing this 0, the last one. So the same thing, it also works with what it also works with negative numbers. So first, when you want to solve a coding challenge, the first thing you need to do is what? Try as much as you can to understand what the problem is. So because when you have a problem and you did not understand the problem you have, definitely you will not have a solution for it. But if you have a problem, this even applies to our worldly affairs. So if you have a problem, like I recognize my problem, the problem is I found it hard to maybe solve a problem, a mathematical problem for example. So when I recognize the problem, so it is going to be easily fixed. It is going to be easily fixed. So for example, there is a hole in the bucket. So whereby whenever I fetch a water, so the water do pour away. So you recognize why the water is pouring away. So meaning I need to find, okay, there's a O in this bucket. So I've recognized the problem, so then I'm going to have a solution to it. So it is very important whenever you want to solve a problem, a coding challenge, the first thing you need to need is understand the problem. So when you understand the problem, so then the next thing is to what? Create a way of solving the problem. Now we've understand the problem, so one way we can solve it is, like I already have this, let me paste it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to, like, since we are getting a number as our input, so also that's one thing you need to know. You need to know what your input is. So our input is a number. So we are having number as our input. So and the what we need to return, our output, which is our output, is also a number. So when we have these two, then we need to try to uh, solve the problem. So the first thing we need to do is, and also we need to know that there are various ways of solving this problem. And for the sake of this tutorial, I will try to use just one method to solve it, giving you guys chances to also solve, as I will be requesting you guys to follow up this challenge with your own alternative ways of solving it. So now let's get started with solving this problem pseudocally. So the first thing is we need to change the number to a string. So we need to change the number to a string, and after changing the number to a string, so the essence of changing the number to a string is because we want to loop through each character of that string, or let me say we want to loop through each digit of that number. So when we convert the number to a string, then we should loop through the string. That means we should loop through each character of the string. So if the last, when looping, so we can just say if the last character of the string is 0, then we need to remove that last character. So that means when we remove the last character, the remaining string will be 145. So after removing the character that is 0, the last character which is 0, so make the string make it the remaining character. So the remaining character is 145. It means that the new string will now become 145. Then change string back to number. So since we've removed the last digit and there's no more, we need to check, of course, if there is still 0 as the last digit. So but if there's no 0 as the last digit, so it means we need to change back the string to a number, because our output should also be a number. So when we do that, then we should return the number. So I think this is going to solve our problem. So let us get inside our Ruby file. So this is the Ruby file, and when you want to save a Ruby file, you save it with the extension .rb. So don't worry, in our Ruby tutorial class I will be explaining better how for every syntax and everything I will be doing here. So now to solve this question, the first we need to do is create a function, or let's say a method in Ruby. So and doing that, to create a method in Ruby, we just have to use the keyword def. So it means like define, method definition. As you can see, method definition. So after the method definition, you give it a name. So and the name I'll be giving this, I can give it trailing 0 remover. So trailing 0 remover, and ending a method. So you just use the keyword end. So now this is our method, and I want to call it, so I want to call the method put trailing 0. Now, but you know, if you look at this method, you should know that this method is supposed to have an argument, because we need to pass an input to it. So definitely we are going to have something like, let me use 1450. We are passing this argument inside this method, so it means our method needs to have a parameter number. So now we've created our method, but it is empty, it is useless for now. So the next thing we need to do is, according to what we have here, we need to change it to a string. So, and that is easily done using, so the num, I'm changing this num to string. So in Ruby, if you want to change a number to string, you are going to use the method to string, to s, like this. So the number we have as our parameter, the number we pass into this parameter, into this method, has been changed to a string using this num. So the next thing we need to do now is to loop through this string. And one way to do that is we can say, using while loop, like saying, okay, y, because we want to check for the last digit, if it is equals to 0. If the last digit is equals to 0, if it is equals to 0, sorry, if the last character, I mean, because it is not a string, if the last character is equals to 0, we should continue doing something. That means, what do we want to do? So we want to continue removing the last digit if it is always equals to what, 0. And using while loop, we can say y, so test. The test here is like a condition. So y num, so I want to get the last character, sorry, the last character, and to get the last character I can use this num dot length minus 1. So if the last character, this thing I did here is, it means like saying, like, you know, you want to get a character from an array. If you are familiar with JavaScript, we can use like something, let me write it here, saying num, let's say 1. So num1, since this is a string, we've converted into a string, so num1 is going to give us 4. So the output of this num1 is going to give us 4. But we want to get the last digit. To get the last digit, it means we are going to use num.length. It means the length of this number, of this string. So the length is 4. The total length of this string is what? 4. So because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 characters. So minus 1. So minus 1 means 4 minus 1 is going to give us 3. So it means we are getting the element, the character at index 3. And the character at index 3 is the last digit, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. So is 0. So if we've gotten this, it means we are saying why this condition num dot length minus 1, the last digit, so y it is equals to 0. So, but you know, this 0 shouldn't be a number, because this will give us false, because the num here is a string, while this one is a number. So we need to make sure that we are testing it as a string also. So num dot length minus 1, basically why the last digit of this character is equals to 0, then do this. So what do we want to do? We want to remove the last digit, which is 0. So and when we remove the last digit, at the same time we want to make the string now becomes the remaining character. So meaning, so num, don't forget that num here is our string, because we have converted it to a string from this first part. So num equals to what? So it should be equals to num so 0. So I can use slice for this, and 0, 2, 3. This is a range. So and the range should be num dot length minus 1. So this thing, what I did here is basically telling me that is basically doing, so a range, I should slice this this string that is coming from here, I should slice it starting from the first index to the what? Second to the last index. So second to the last index, because this actually is giving me the last index, which is 3. But because I'm using range, I'm using 3 dots. So 3 dots is going to exclude this element, this index here. It's going to exclude it. So instead of going from 0 to 3, it's going to stop at 2. That is 0 to 2. So it's going to stop at 2. So it's just like the. So what this means, it means that num like this. So 0, 0, so 3. So this is what these things means. So, and as you can see, I'm repeating too much number. So I can even make this to be a variable. I can put this in a variable instead of repeating, because we need to make our code dry. So do not repeat yourself. So, but I want to finish solving this before I refactor it. So we have num 0 to this 3. So basically it's saying 0 to 2. So excluding this 3. So, and that is going to, and that index, that's character. So we are putting it into this num. So it means in the first loop, if the last digit is equals to 0, so our new string will now become the new remaining character. So, and after this, so I just need to I need to what? Change back my num to integer. So dot, and to do that you just use to I. So like this. So now we can test our code. Don't forget to save. So let us save, and let's see if our code is going to work. So let's try this. Good. Now you can see our code is working. So we've removed the trading 0. So we now have 145. So let us try another example. So let's say we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we have how many zeros here? We have 5 zeros. So let's see if we are going to have the same thing. Save and run your code. Good. So we have the same 145. So what about a case if we have okay, we have this, we just have 0, we just have only 0. Let's see if that is going to work. I don't know, but let's see if the code is going to work with this too. So you press your Control Alternate N to run your code. So let's see. It works good, but it takes time before it gives us the result. So maybe it's my system. So let me try again. Good. So it means our code is working perfectly. So let's see for negative numbers, which should also work. So let's say we have minus 10, 50, okay, and don't forget to save. Let me clear this part and let me rerun this. So let's see what we have. Sorry, it seems I have my network. Good. So I can see it works. So guys, that is it. So we've solved this problem. So, and we tried to use different methods, examples to run it. So that is good. So before we wrap up this video, I want to throw a challenge to all of you, our amazing viewers. If you have an alternative solution or a more optimized way of solving the trading zeros problem in Ruby, I would love to hear from you. Learning is a collaborative process, and I am always eager to improve my coding skills alongside you. I'll be keeping an eye on the comment section, and I'm excited to see the creative solutions you all come up with. Remember, there is always room for improvement, and we can all learn from one another's perspective. Don't forget to leave your alternative solutions in the comments, and let's continue growing together as a coding community. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.